Hello everybody. Today we are evaluating expressions, so we have to use the key below to complete the joke. So in your key right here, your squares, your blank squares are going to be substituted with the letter R, your circles are going to be substituted with the letter E, and your blank triangles are going to be substituted with the letter D. So we're taking these letters and we are plugging them into the shapes they go with. So the joke says, what's the king of the pencil box? The ruler. Get it? So, on the next part here, it says, now replace the following mathematical messages and evaluate them. So in our key here, we have to plug in the number 24 to our blank triangles, 8 to our blank circles, and 4 to our blank squares. So, right here we have our order of operations. We have 24 divided by 8 in parentheses plus 4. Of course, if we're going to do that, 24 divided by 8 is 3, and 3 plus 4 is 7. Now for the next one, we have 24 being substituted into the blank, because our key tells us that the triangle is equal to 24. So we have 24, and my key tells me that the circle is equal to 8, so we have 4 here as well, because my square tells me I need to substitute 4 into my squares, or 4 or square is equal to 4. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 24 minus 12 is 12. Alright, so when we are evaluating expressions, okay, is when a letter stands in place of a number. It's called the variable. A variable represents a specific number in each expression. So, down here, we're going to evaluate or just solve, right, the following expressions if x is 7, or x is equal to 7, y is equal to 3, and z is equal to 2. So what they're asking us here is that when you see an x, it's not an x, it's really a 7. Just like when you saw a triangle up here, it's not really a triangle. They told us that it's a 24, so I have to put that in there. So every time you see an x, you need to put a 7 in place of the x. And the same goes for y, which will be 3, and z, which will be 2. So I highlighted them there so that I could show you a little bit better down here. So my x was plus, in parentheses, 3 plus 2. Alright, and now I do want you to solve these, okay? Because these are your order of operations, so this is nothing new. It was exactly the same as the last lesson. So you're going to need to go ahead and write your answers in on Kami here. Alright, if you just wanted to put the answer in, that's fine with me. Alright, you don't have to show as much work, but it is always nice to show your work. So I'm just going to put a box here, and I'm going to make it pink to let you know that you have to do these. Okay? Alright, so make sure your answer goes here. Alright, write your answer in Kami. Oh, I'm sure that you get it. I don't know where that just went, but that's okay. Alright, for number 2 down here, we're going to evaluate it. Okay, that's why it's in green. And z was 2, x is 7, and y is 3. Now, whenever you see anything that looks like this is multiplication. So anytime you see that, it is multiplication. Okay? So we have multiplication first, plus 3 minus 2. For number 3, it's everything is the same. Y is 3, right? Because all our pink ones are 3. our z is 2, and these are our exponents. So it's 3 times 3 and 2 times 2. Alright, and then when you're done doing your exponents, you're going to subtract your answers. Okay, again, whenever you see something like this, it's going to be multiplication. Alright, and what I did was I didn't want to confuse you, because this is really saying that this is 7 times x, which is 7 times 7. So I just put parentheses down there so I knew that this was going to be multiplication. And the same is going to go for 5y. This is 5 times 3, because 3 is y, as you can remember from your key up here. Okay, number 5 is the same deal. Alright, z is 2, y is 3, and x is 7. So you got to evaluate these. Alright, and just remember that these are multiplication. I did give you the Photomath app, so if you are having trouble, you can always take a picture of this rewritten on a piece of paper, just like this, and you can use your Photomath app to help you out. Alright, so evaluating expressions is commonly used when substituting values into geometry formulas. So it says use the formula A equals s squared to find the area of each of the squares below. Substitute the side length into x to represent the side length of the side length. Solve to find A, the area. So here's one of the examples I did for you. All right, S, which was highlighted here, is 11. So since S is 11, I have to use my formula from the top and plug in S, which is going to be the length of the side of the square. So I know what S is because they told me the length of this side of this square. I can plug in my 11 to where S was and replace S with 11 and then square it. So it's 11 times 11, which is 121. Alright, the same thing here. I need to substitute the side length that's given into my formula for the area of a square. So I can take 16, substitute it in for S. Now I have 16 squared, and 16 squared is 256. And you guys are going to need to do this one right here. So I guess I'll just draw another pink box to let you know that you got to do this one right here. Alright, and remember, you just got to write your answer in. And showing work is great. If you can show your work on there, it's even better. Alright. Now, I crossed out this formula right here. Volume equals length times width times height, because I crossed out the bottom of your page where you would use that. Alright, so you don't have to do that today. However, you do need to do the area of the rectangles, which is the base times the height. So, to complete the tables below by evaluating the expressions, remember, evaluating means to solve. So, just remember that you will be evaluating, alright, which means that you will be filling in these answers right here. Alright, so let me go through this first example. Here's my rectangle. My base is the 6, and my height is 2.7. So my formula, as stated from the top, is A equals B times H. Remember, this is always multiplication. You know, we don't use that times sign because it looks like an X, and X is a letter, so X can be a variable. So we write multiplication in a different way. All right. Now I take my formula. I knew what it was because it was given at the top. I substituted in B because B was given up at the top for the base. Okay, and I substituted in my height, which was given over here as the height of the rectangle. So now I have 6 times 2.7, so the area is equal to 16.2. But you can write it just like this. On to the next rectangle. My base was 8.3. So when you rewrite these answers, it should look identical to the other side of the paper. So, for example, if I was going to write this expression here, all right, my base would be 8.3 times 4. All right, and then you need to solve that. So it would be 8.3 times 4, and you would solve that right here, just like when you're solving it over here. All right. That's going to be it for today, all right? When you want to summarize today's lesson, you can always talk about what substitution is in math. For example, when we have a variable and it tells us what that variable is equal to, we need to replace the variable with the number that's given. Everybody have a great day and stay safe.